Hello everybody, welcome to today's stream. So, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team. You all should know the drill by now. I yesterday actually beat Buried Relic. That dungeon just isn't fun. At all. And until I'm ready to go and gather all the legendary Pokemon, I have no intention of going back in there. But I'm gonna have to, seeing as there's all three of the Reggies and Mew, and I plan on getting all Pokemon, so yeah. But for now, I'm done with that. It actually now lists Mew as well. And it's back to just missions. Starting off with Tiny Woods because, well, they're outstanding. Nope. That's overkill. I first want my items. Training up this Rattata is gonna take ages, isn't it? I have to at some point like figure out a dungeon that's good for grinding. I need to withdraw money. Reviver Seeds are just the most overpowered item in the entire game, together with Joy Seeds, so I just need it. And a Weedle, which I actually still need. Because if this Weedle survives, I have my first Pokemon evolution set complete. I already have Kakuna and Beedrill, so if this little Weedle survives, then I have my first evolution set nice and complete. That I can somewhat manage itself. I I have been thinking about doing more streams as in daily streams, but I'm not certain if that's a bright idea because because of work and stuff like that. But I was thinking about having like the longer 2-hour streams. Keep those on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday to just have like a shorter, like 30 to like 30 to 60-minute stream in the evenings. And I was thinking about doing that, and then those shorter streams would be like miscellaneous with like games I don't intend on 100% presenting, because this game I fully intend on getting a 100 on basically fully 100%ing. But there are also games that I have that I like to play but I wouldn't wanna fully clear. So I was thinking about streaming those in like the evening, or like games that aren't fun to play for longer periods of time, because I've got games that just aren't fun to play for prolonged periods of time. So I was thinking on doing that on like Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That's like gonna be like really random, those streams. And I was thinking about seeing if I can get myself a PS4 console somewhere secondhand and a bit cheap. Doesn't even have to function with a disc, it just has to how to say, run download games, because it's kinda all I have for the PlayStation 4. I now currently use my boyfriend's PS4, but that one's running out of memory, and seeing as he paid for it in full, it's fair that the games that I have on the system, that those are the ones he kicks off at the soonest. So I would like to just have one of my own, but that would also require me to get a capture card. And like, look at this! My first little set of evolutions all completed. I know it's not much, but it looks so adorable. I still need a second zigzagoon. Oh, wait. I also need a Typlosion, but also, where does Heracross live? Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. That one lives there. But yeah, I do have plans and like ideas. Also, like the shorter evening streams won't be with a webcam. I mean, if I'm just back from work, I don't know if you guys want to see how I look. That's it's not a good sight. So but I still need to think about that. I'm also thinking about getting like a full Switch, but I'm not certain if I should. Seeing as I have a Switch Lite, and for how much as I love the games that are on it, the ones I'm interested in streaming are also available on other consoles. So, not certain about getting a Switch. Because I have a Switch Lite. I have another thing I still want to try, but I'm not certain if that's gonna work. Seeing as there are capture cards that are actually made for like phones and tablets that make use of a USB-C connector, and the Switch Lite has a USB-C. So I want to plug like one of those in and just see if that works. If you can stream a Switch Lite through a USB-C capture card that like plugs in straight into your PC, then that's like one massive oversight over at like Nintendo's side of things. But let's just presume that works. It would force me to play all the games in handheld mode, because the only controller that I have that I can hook up to my Switch is a USB controller. And for in case you're wondering how you hook up a USB controller to a Switch Lite, there are actually official like tiny little docking stations for them that give you access to that like if you plug in the adapter will actually load your Switch, but it also gives the Switch Lite two USB ports basically. That's the reason that I can plug a wired controller in. Which I only use effectively for 2, perhaps 3 games. I use my wired controller to play Hatsune Miku Megamix, because it's a rhythm game and it just works better. No, I don't. I recently started playing that one just handheld. In that case, like that controller serves 2 purposes. Those purposes are called Skyrim and Dark Souls. Yes, I have Dark Souls for the Switch Lite. Do I recommend that? No, absolutely not, but who gives? I wanted the game. And my boyfriend owed me 50 quid, so yeah, fair enough. I had him buy Dark Souls for me. But I really should give like one of those USB-C capture cards like a go. Let's see if that works, because if that works and I can like stream from my Switch Lite with that capture card, that'd be amazing. It's still not gonna be the same because for certain games I just can't play on a Lite, or they lose functionality. But I guess I can negate that by just hooking up some Joy-Cons. If it wasn't for like my boyfriend's Joy-Cons both just having like Joy-Con drift. But I have to say about my Lite, even though it was also a second-hand console, but yeah, knock on wood, still no problems. But because it's second-hand, that's also a reason why I have like the yellow one. Not my first choice in color. I have to admit the Switch Lite comes in much better colors, but it was cheap. Apparently the yellow one was not popular at that store where I got my light. And let's say it doesn't work for the Switch Lite, I do have like one game on my phone I'd be interested in sharing. I'm not good at that game, but again, who cares? And that's Project Sekai, which is a mobile rhythm game, which also has like the Vocaloids in it. So that's a fun game. But my phone can only do like 3 songs, and by that point it gets really laggy, so I could like stream my dailies. What are some other things I'd like to do? I recently downloaded Osu again, and I've been having a blast with it. I'm still not good at the game, but well, it's Osu. I can get there. But the problem with Osu is there's a thing called copyrights, and a lot of that music is copyrighted, so it's not either A, not good for streaming, or B, I can't upload the stream to YouTube afterwards without getting copyright strikes. So I don't think Osu is gonna happen unless like which like permits those things when you like use Osu as a category. I also still need a capture card for USB for HDMI devices, seeing as I do have a PlayStation 3. With quite a fair bit of games on it, and that includes some games that I think more people should know about before the PS3 online shop closes, because I believe it's still active. And I tried to close it, but like people are a bit too fond of it. And I still really want like something like a 3DS or a 3DS XL with a capture card. Because I also have quite a fair amount of like DS and 3DS games I'd love to stream. And I'd rather not use an emulator because those aren't very stable. Also, like, there are still some arguments about the legality about using emulators. In the Netherlands, it's fine to use a ROM as long as you have the original game as well, because you are permitted to have a copy of something like that, of like a CD or a game or a movie, provided you have the original and you don't use that copy for real, and you don't resell the copy. You are permitted to have a copy. How you get that copy is up to yours. So in the Netherlands, it technically would be legal for me to use ROMs. But I'm not too fond of that, Eddie. I mean, it is possible to get like your DS or to get like a 3DS system with a capture card. I know it's possible. I don't believe I have a Rosalia. So I would like to get one of those. I mean, I have so many fun games for DS and like 3DS I'd like to share because I believe I've got some very underrated games on those systems as well. I mean, one of the games for like 3DS I'd love to show off is called Fantasy Life. It's a massive RPG and most people have never heard about it or played it. Which is such a shame because it's got a lot to do. It's really long, it's got a great storyline. And like nobody I know with a 3DS owns that game. Which is a bit of a shame. I'd love to stream that. I mean, it's such a fun RPG. And I wanted to say like a fun little RPG, but no, it's not. It's actually massive. It's like, there's so much to do. You have like a main storyline, and then the version I've got has like the DLC. The version I've got also has like the DLC in it. And then it's just a massive game. And most copies of the game, like, I believe the game came standard bundled with the DLC. So if you bought it from the digital shop, it came standard bundled with the DLC. It's got like so much content, that game. So I'd love to stream that one, but actually like complete it. Because that one you can actually fully 100%. So I'd like to do that with that game. I'd also love to figure out, seeing as I do have those Vocaloids, I'd love to figure out how I can get Studio One to work on stream, so I can perhaps also like on occasion do things like tuning streams. Because those projects now never get finished because I don't really feel like it or stuff like that, or yeah. But if I can stream those, then perhaps I can like preserve like one day for like vocal synth stuff. Where I can get like a VSQ, VSQX or like a MIDI file and just go and tune it. Because a lot of people seem to think that like Vocaloids like automatically always work correctly and you don't have to do things, but you really have to tune them. If you want to be lazy with your tuning, use Synthesizer V. Especially the AI. Use Synthesizer V AI because that's basically an auto tune, but results may vary. Because my experience with Synthesizer V's AI tuning is, it's either amazing and it's what you're looking for, or you can spend a good hour or so fixing the AI tuning. And there seems to be nothing in between. It's like, Either it's amazing and you can render it and it's done, or it's horrendous and you have to spend as much time fixing it as you would have basically um, doing it yourself. And there's like no in between. But hey, not bad. I mean, Synthesizer V, it's a good program. I'm very interested in some of the voice banks myself. Another voice bank from another Pokemon that I still want, from another program I still want is Chevio AI. Is I want IA, which is also a Vocaloid. I want that English voice bank for Savio, but then the AI voice bank, because that's just an amazingly good voice bank. And then for Vocaloid, I still have a couple of Vocaloids I want. I still want Hatsune Miku, I still want Kaido, I still want Meiko. I still want Kyotaro. I still want the remaining Yuzuki Yukari voice banks, because I only have her normal voice bank, but I also want her Whisper and Power. I still want Kyotaro, both like regular and rock preferably. And then I still want Kaito, Meiko and Miku, and I believe those were the Vocaloids oh no, I still want Mew and Lumi. I still want those two. What are some other voice banks I want? That's because I have a crap ton of voice banks already, but let's see. Yes. Let me pull up my wish list. Oh no, those were basically it. Because I have some of them already. Yes. I still want Hatsune Miku V4X bundle, Kaito V3, Meiko V3, Hiyama Kyotaro Rock, Natural, Yuzuki Yukari, both the voice banks, and then Mew and Lumi, and those are basically the Vocaloid voice banks I still want. And then for Synthesizer V, I want, I believe she's called Xing Shan, but like her more common name in English is Stardust. Her AI voice bank, seeing as Synthesizer V's AI voice banks are good to such an extent that you can use any language that if you have an AI voice bank, they can, no matter the base language, they can always do Japanese, English, and Mandarin Chinese. And I already wanted that voice bank for Vocaloid, but for Vocaloid that would mean I'd have to like sit down and do like phonetics, ship meta phonetics, and like cut those up and alter those and like see if that yields any decent results, which is time consuming and doesn't yield that great a result usually. But if I get the Synthesizer V voice bank, then I can just use it as a English voice bank, and like her English is very good. And I would like to have Tsuramaki Maki English, Eleanor Fortis English voice bank, all AI because those just work the best. And then I was also thinking about getting Kevin and Rio. Those are original voice banks by like Dreamtronics. And Kevin is a standard English voice bank, and Rio is normally a Japanese voice bank, but Rio has AI functionality, so you can just use that. Do I want a stronger Poochyena? Yes. I'd love to have a stronger Poochyena. Because with a bit of luck, that Poochyena evolves. Yes, so I can now kick one of... Presuming that Poochyena makes it, I can kick off one of the weaker Poochyenas out of my team. And then I already have Poochyena Mightyena complete because I can just evolve this Poochyena. Good. That solves that issue. But yeah, I still want Synthesizer V voice banks. Like, I want Stardust. That's for certain. That's a voice bank I would have otherwise gotten as a Vocaloid. Perhaps Solaria. I mean, I am warming up to that one because in the beginning Solaria didn't do it for me, but it is quite a good voice bank. Nine, 13 and 14. Okay, so I've got a way to go. I don't think I have a Whisper. Otherwise, Whisper has like 2 more evolves anyway. After I do this stream, I really should like wash the dishes, which I promise to do, especially seeing as it's quite a high stack standing and well, it's about 2 weeks worth of shit because work hit a bit harder than expected. But I also have this original song for Vocaloid I'm working on, and I probably should see if I can make some progress on it. It's been a while. I have way too many Vocaloids already. Like, my vocal synth like list has gotten out of hand to such an extent I have to keep a list. And that list has like things like recommended vocal and like BPM ranges. Because I just need that. It's that much at this moment. It's kind of ridiculous. And I've got a fair few of them that are not really that much used by the fandom. Like, those weren't like the Vocaloids everybody got like really excited over. Which is a shame because a lot of those tend to be rather good. I've got some like really underappreciated voice banks. I'd like to see him get more love. Well, this is kind of sucky. Oh well. That move was almost out anyway. Let's get rid of the Grumpics first, because those can actually deal damage. Fuck. Yeah, that's what I mean with those were scary. Great. Anyway, yes. Focusins, they're so much fun. I actually love them, but oh my, they tend to be a pain in the ass to work. To get to work properly. But I do like working with those. I mean, Focusins are fun. Just, they can be a bit of a pain in the ass to work with on occasion. But let's be realistic. Human singers can be a bit of a pain in the ass as well to work with. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like spend like the afternoon after I like do the dishes and like I should probably also take a shower. I think I'm gonna spend the time figuring out how I can get my how I can get the Vocaloid, like my DAW to like run with Vocaloid editor without then I can actually like stream it. I'd love to be able to do that. I mean, I got Vocaloid 2, like, to the point that I can stream it, but that's just Vocaloid 2. I've got one English voice bank for that. Yes, I have an English voice. Yes, I have Sonica for Vocaloid 2. And no, I have no intentions of getting an upgrade code for the user in a better version of the editor, because I can get pretty good results with just her with her being run in Vocaloid 2. So I'm gonna keep her in Vocaloid 2 because I prefer her in that engine. There's some V2 voice banks you can get like an upgrade code for. Sonica being one of those. That you can like run them in the Vocaloid 4 engine, which I have. Kind of. I have Be a Pro Studio, but that doesn't matter. Practically the same. But you need to get an upgrade code for, but I kinda prefer her being used in the Vocaloid 2 engine for Sweet Anne and Big L. I would recommend getting them upgraded, because those just definitely sound and work better in the Vocaloid 4 engine, but for Sonica, I just prefer her in the Vocaloid 2 engine. I have no idea why. Vocaloids to a certain extent are backwards compatible. For instance, I can run Vocaloid 3 voice banks in the V4 editor. That works. Yeah, perhaps, like, I already have an Elamese. Perhaps figuring out how I can get, like, Be a Pro Studio to run on, like, on stream might be a good idea. And then, like, reserve, like, an evening or so in the week for, like, Vocaloid bullshit. Or, like, me messing around with those voice banks. What are some other things I'd like to do? I definitely think that like streaming daily should benefit me. I mean, the more you stream, the more Twitch actually promotes your content. So even though I do hit like the stream hours, I think that having it spread out a bit would benefit me. Especially seeing as with how my work schedule is, it's more convenient for me to have dinner for lunch anyway. Which I've been doing lately because in the evenings I'm home quite late. So I don't really feel like cooking anymore. So, but seeing as I do have like quite a big gap for lunch, I do nowadays cook my basically have dinner for lunch, because well, I have to do something. But it does leave me the ability to potentially do some evening streams, seeing as that means in the evening I can make do with like 1 or 2 slices of bread with some toppings. Or just a yogurt. I've been doing that for the past week. And then I can just have a bit of a stream and then go take a shower and then basically play some video games. Don't I do have to remember I do have to show up for somebody else's streams because I am moderator for somebody for Gerona's Leror. I believe I pronounced that correctly. I hope so. But I am one of his stream moderators, so I have to take into consideration that part of my weekly duties is showing up to somebody else's stream for basically crowd control purposes. So I do have to take that into consideration. Come to think of it, I'm quite busy. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I really hate escort missions in this game. They're so obnoxious. And there's Rattata better level up soon. I should really make like a weekly schedule to like follow. Because now I am kind of wasting a lot of time doing not much useful. I mean, YouTube is such a nice and massive time waster anyway. I'm very glad though I don't have social media because otherwise I'd really never get anything done again. It's also no point for me on getting social media because, well, unless the European Union and Zuckerberg come to an agreement, his programs are gonna be banned anyway. So, I kinda don't see the point about getting things like Facebook because chances are that in like 9 months, Facebook is gonna be kicked out of Europe anyway. So I'm not getting that. I have YouTube. I keep forgetting to set up a Discord server. I really should do that. It's probably like 20 minutes of work for what I need it for. It probably is. It's like 20 minutes of work for what I need it for, most likely. I mean, my Discord server is mostly gonna be to inform people when I'm not streaming, because like now if something comes up, I can cancel the stream in the schedule. But I would like to have like a more, I'd say, a slightly better way of communicating those things. So in that case, you can like look in the Discord if I said something about it. But I still need to set that up. I'm really not that good with like those programs. I have no idea why. And that's mostly because I never kept up with those things, because even as a child I didn't particularly care. Also, by that point I've had some very pretty bad experiences with social media. Thanks to somebody else. I'd never even had social media, but somebody else like messed it up for me already, so... Is this the only... Yes, I only have this wheel to rescue. So I just never got into them. But I can see the benefits of at least having Discord as well. What are some other things? Oh yeah, next time my parents come over, I have to remember to ask them to bring my Super Nintendo. It's still over at my parents' place because I moved houses quite a lot, quite often. Yeah, that's the thing when you study. And I didn't want it to get damaged, so I just left it over at my parents' place. But I would like it back. I mean, I don't have many games for it, but like the ones I've got are some of the greats. I mean, I have like it came standard with Super Mario World, but I also have the Super Mario All Stars Super Mario World combo cartridge, which I got for like 10 quid. And I got it really cheap, especially for what game it is. I've got Donkey Kong Country and I've got The Lion King for it. They're all pretty decent enough titles. No, let's face it, those are all titles that basically, except for The Lion King, that's just a movie tie-in, but like the others are basically did in did influence some other things. For instance, the music from Donkey Kong Country was actually good enough that it apparently once made it to the radio in like in like a part of the United States. It like made it to the radio, and was like one of the first instances in which gaming music was like introduced to a basically to a mainstream audience. I'd love to see radio stations do that more often, like pick out a piece of gaming music. A lot of games have very good music. So I'd love to see him do that some more often. But it's probably nowadays very difficult with things like copyright to do so. I would not be surprised if that's the reason why it doesn't happen more often. Oh, I already have whatever I can get here. Yeah, I should really do some useful things this afternoon after I'm done streaming. Dishes for one. And what else should I really do? Yeah, probably looking up how to set up the Discord because I've tried to um, do it myself, but yeah, that's not happening. And then figure out the streaming situation. I should probably write things down to be certain. I'm really bad at remembering things. Can I get a nose pass? Yes, I can get a nose pass. And I don't have one yet. Oh, it doesn't join. Shadow's Pass. It's such a wonky Pokemon. Basically, an Easter Island hat combined with a magnet. It looks so stupid, and like its evolution Probopass isn't much better. But I remember using Probopass in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and it was actually quite good. For how dumb as it looks, it actually did its job. Yeah. But for like the remakes for like Pearl, I have like the dumbest team, and it just works. It's got nothing of like the, let's say, like the meta recommended Pokemon. For instance, I use a Pachirisu for my electric type, and it just works. I have what else do I have on that team? I have a Pachirisu. I know I've got a Doterra because that was my starter. I know I've got a Pachirisu. I've got a Honchkrow because my boyfriend has diamonds, so I traded a Mistreverse for a Murkrow. What other one do I have? I've got those three. I'm pretty certain about those three. I know I have a Manaphy, which is kinda cheap. I've got a Jinx, and what was that last Pokemon again? What did I have? I don't remember what that last Pokemon was. But it's such a wonky team, yet it's quite a good one. And Manaphy isn't that strong actually. It's not the strongest of like legendary, or was it like a mythical? It's not the strongest of those. It's like, it's not the greatest at it. But I did beat Cynthia first try, so apparently I did something good when building that team. The Terra is just the tankiest thing you can imagine at the moment because all it knows are Leech Seed, Mega Drain, Giga Drain, and Earthquake, and it's got a leftovers. So it's that the Terra is just the tankiest thing that I have. And actually also one of the most obnoxious because I set up a Leech Seed turn 1. And then because it's got both Leech Seed and leftovers, it just heals. And then for in case that isn't enough, I still have Mega and Giga Drain to do some more healing, and then I've got Earthquake for the damage. And that's such a obnoxious setup for the Terra. I know, I can probably utilize it differently and like better. But let's face it, outstalling is also a tactic. Outstalling your opponent and forcing him into like struggle and stuff like that is a valid technique in Pokemon. Takes forever, but it is a valid technique. Oh, that one's just so high rank because it's on floor 20. But there are like some really cheap techniques you can do in Pokemon in general. Like anything that like boosts your own evasion or lowers somebody else's a combination, for instance, that I know is quite often used is boosting your own evasion and lowering your opponent's accuracy, making it near impossible for them to actually hit you. I know that's a technique. And that, for instance, in the case of if you're doing a Nuzlocke, which I plan on doing one for Pokemon Fire Red, seeing as I'm quite familiar with that game. There is no shame in just item spamming your way through it, because how else are you supposed to beat it? I think I'm gonna do a Nuzlocke for Pokemon Fire Red. Okay, look! There is something I need. That's a Joy Seed. I need those. They give you a level. That's just it. That's all it does. It gives you a level up. So I really need that. But they're expensive. That can end my entire misery with like the Rattata trading. 3,000 for a stupid seed, but that can just end my entire misery with the Rattata trading, because yeah, sure, why not? I can give it to the Rattata, I don't care. I want to have another Pokemon to train, and that Rattata is one level up away anyway, so I know there are better ways to utilize a Joy Seed, like on your legendaries and stuff like that, but I just want to be done with training up that Rattata. I just want a different Pokemon to train up. Something slightly more useful. Yeah, sure, you can have a focus energy. Yes, it can finally evolve. Next thing up, evolving Rattata into Eradicate, and then I'm gonna pick another Pokemon that can evolve. That luckily isn't as... that hopefully isn't as much of a... how to say? Not as fragile as a Rattata. I think it's gonna be a Voltorb or an Elekid. I just have to see my list. Let's see what I can get out of it. I have to think, what would be a good Pokemon to start training up? Voltorb and Elekid would both be good, seeing as I can't get those evolutions. Also, they're not actually that weak. Voltorb and Elekid are pretty decent Pokemon, so you're the level 21, right? Yes. Plains. Ah, Venusaur now finally has a friend. Venusaur was like alone in his friend area for the longest time, but now he's got a now Venusaur got like a little Roselia to play with. That's nice. Oh yeah, poor Shifter is still stuck at normal rank. I should probably check for more Joy Seeds and like Reviver Seeds. Reviver Seeds, the importance from the first moment you start playing the game all the way down until you finish it. Yes, I'd like to evolve. No, I don't need to get an item. There it is, one chunky little Rattata. It's majestic. Did that do anything to my stats? No, practically nothing. Oh dear. I do want to save. Okay, switching back to Venusaur. Let's go and visit this one because this now means Rattata and Raticate. I can train Puchiana, I can train a Zigzagoon. What's a Pokemon I should train? Vidalco could have breedable, I don't have to, because those are complete. I could just go by order of this list. Because that would mean that Spearow is like up next. Yeah, I can do that. Just go by list. Like, that means that Spearow is now next. For those two, I just need a Firestone. I can do that. Just go by, like, list and just do whichever one is, like, next on the list. Or I can just do one I want to do. To Nidorans I don't have to because I can get their evolutions. Voltorb would be a good one. Don't need to level Houndour. Elekid would be a good one. I can do one of the Spoinks. Then there's Anorith. What Pokemon should I take? I still need to have a Firo, which I can only get through evolving. Nidoran and Nidoran don't need to be evolved because I can get Nidorina and Nidorino. And then there's Stone Evolution. Venonat needs training because I can't get a Venomoth otherwise. I'm gonna look up at what level Venonat evolves. If it evolves at level 20, I'm taking Venonat. Let's see. Venonat. Oh no, that one evolves at level 31, so that's... That's a bit of a stretch. Let's see, so I'm not gonna do Venonat because that's gonna take forever. That's an Onyx, that one needs an evolution item. Let's see, at which levels do Voltorb and Elekid evolve? Where is it? Ah, Voltorb. Voltorb also evolves at level 30. I think Elekid is somewhat similar. Yeah, most of them evolve at level 30, so that's not good. In that case, I can just as well start off with training of the Spearow. I mean, I have to start somewhere. And at least Spearow is somewhat decent. And that also really helps. Just starting on the stairs. Or next to her. Also very helpful. Not really actually, because that Spearow needs training. Right, it's still gonna level up. How many XP does that thing need? Okay. And I do have a level 42 Typhlosion. Oh, that's adorable. It's got Pack. And that's literally it. Oh, look at that. It's level 20. It's level 5 and already had more HP than the Rattata at level 20. Rattatas really are just built for speed and nothing else. I thought that was the exit. But no. And I have to be at floor 8. And there it is. One Magmar. How that got stuck here, I have no idea. But I don't care, because it makes for a nice and easy rescue. I just realized something. I don't think I've ever had platinum rank in this game. I don't think I'd ever, like, had the patience to do that back in the day. I'm not doing escort missions. That one's out. I don't have access to Sky Tower, so that one's out. I hate delivering and I hate escorts. Oh, that's... I really don't like those missions. They're so obnoxious. I mean, some of those missions just really are the most annoying things ever. Okay, nothing useful. Let's see, can I buy a new friend area? Yeah, perhaps. Let's see. I really would like a new friend area. Alright, the Age Chamber it is. That's the first half of your unknowns. unlike in the mainstream games in which an unknown is an unknown, in this game, that's not the case. In this game, all unknowns are separate entities. Because I have my high doubts, otherwise the game would function. Oh, there it is. I always find it sometimes so difficult to predict where the loading zones are. Ancient Chamber AN. This chamber lies deep inside an ancient ruin. It's said that the runes on stone tablets move about in this enigmatic place. So that's where the unknowns live. Half of them at least. Wrong dungeon. Crap. Yes. That's the wrong dungeon. Whoops. That's always a good thing to do. Wrong dungeons. Alright, that should do that. Let's give that another go. And this time I should enter the right dungeon. That one. What are some of the Pokemon here I can get? Okay, everything minus Dodeo. And I have to be at floor 11. I don't know why, for some reason Spearow likes to thrill behind. Because the Rattata would go like nicely in the middle, but Spearow doesn't do that. I have no idea why. I have no idea why, because I would like to have it in the middle. Yeah, it doesn't sort it that way anymore. Because Rattata, if you like, normally it goes like in order of like in which Pokemon you like select. But it doesn't feel like doing that for Spearow for some reason. Which is annoying, seeing as sometimes the order of the Pokemon can actually determine the efficiency of your team. So I think it's a bit weird. It should be like this, but like Spearow in the middle, but... Oh well. Can't expect everything from it. I mean, it is an old game. Yeah, I think I should definitely stream more often than just 4 days a week. And more miscellaneous stuff. One of the reasons I want my own PS4 is because I would like to have Elden Ring. It seems like a really fun game. And even though I'm terrible at like Dark Souls games, because I have Dark Souls 1 and 2 and I have Bloodborne, I'm absolutely horrible at them. I do really like playing them. But I also like open world RPGs, so perhaps Elden Ring is like a nice meetup in the middle. It does seem like a really fun game. Frustrating, like all the Souls here, all those games, but fun. And because it's open world, it seems to be a bit more forgiving. And like things like escape options than the regular games than the other ones. It seems to be a bit more forgiving because of that. I could be absolutely wrong, but seeing as it's open world, it seems to be a bit more like open world. It seems to be a bit more forgiving. But it can also mean that you can stumble with like your level 15 character, can like stumble into a boss you're not meant to find actually until like the mid game or late game because you decided to be bold and go explore. But I already have that issue with Dark Souls anyway, so I mean, anybody in the first Dark Souls that either picked the thief category so that you have access to the master key, or like got the master key as its starting gift, knows how easy it is to like stumble in into a wrong area. Valley of the Drakes is such a lovely example of that. Of places you probably shouldn't go at the start of your game. Same goes for like that area near the Firelink Shrine with like the awful lot of skeletons. It's not a place you should go. Because those skeletons will and shall absolutely own you. Especially if you're like early game, don't know anything, any shit about the game. And the worst thing about those skeletons, like, is still the fact that they spawn, they like rise from the ground. But you can stun lock them, seeing as every single attack that you deal to them causes them to like break apart and you have to like take a second to assemble each other. So if you have like a weapon with like a wider arc, you can just stun lock those skeletons. Which I have done successfully, only to get a weapon that isn't of any use to my build. Because why should it? But I know there's technically a weapon in Valley of the Drakes that does a fixed set of damage of like 350 and something. Which you can just, there's nothing stopping you from like getting that weapon early game. If you have the master key, there's like nothing stopping you from just going there and getting that weapon. It doesn't scale, it doesn't do shit, it just does 300, I believe 352 damage per attack that lands. It does require a high strength stat. When it comes down to Dark Souls, I do prefer builds that have a bit of magic sprinkled into them. For instance, for Dark Souls 1, my base build was a Pyromancer. Which I am very happy with. Like, on occasion, being able to just chuck a ball of flames at somebody is very convenient. Which remembers me, I should really go and get the repair kit, because in Dark Souls 1 you can't teleport between bonfires until a certain part in the game. I believe until you have like finished Anor Londo, can't and met like a certain NPC, you don't have the ability to teleport in between bonfires, which in the second game you have right from the get-go. But also in the second game your weapons durability recovers with like ARS at the bonfire, and it doesn't do that either in the first game. So I need to pay attention to that. I should probably just scavenge. I know where I can get the repair kit, I just kind of forgot to get it. Because then I had like more interesting items I wanted to buy, like a stronger weapon. With better damage scaling, for instance. Seeing as the Pyromancer at the core is a strength build with the ability to chuck a fireball at people. And then for Dark Souls 2, I just have a sorcerer. It functions. It is kind of difficult seeing as you have to learn how to snipe with using binoculars. And there is my first star request. I'm not gonna escort somebody to like 57 of Buried Relic. That's not happening. Just not. really like the Souls games. They're so much fun. Wait, did I see a revival seat like right smack in the middle? Yes. I did see that correctly. I do think when it comes to streaming, I am gonna stick to like having also a fixed end time, because otherwise I'm really never gonna get anything done anymore. I think it's important. That's the next one, Frosty Forest. Just one, all the way down to floor 5. That's not too bad. Also, I know there's a way to progress in the story, but I have no idea how to do it. I believe you just have to play missions until it works. Hero getting nice and strong. Also, can I get Pokemon here? Oh, just Azurill. I should keep a list of like which Pokemon I still need in each dungeon. Yeah, after this I'm gonna upload the stream to YouTube. That's also something. If you wanna watch the streams back, they are all on my YouTube channel. It's linked on my Twitch page. And I tend to upload streams within 24 hours of streaming, usually just immediately after. I just tend to upload them. And they're in full, it's just like, I just upload things in full. And they should also be available in like, how do you call it, like VOD or something like that on Twitch. Like, so they do also save on Twitch, but like the ones on Twitch, I believe they only, seeing as I don't have affiliate or don't have partnered, I believe they only stay for like a week or so. I should also probably, perhaps later today, like, see if I can design some channel emotes and stuff like that. Like, do some doodling and do some sketching, see if I can like come up with some things. I should probably write things down. Yeah, you know what? I have a list here anyways. Oh. That went great. I just tried to move. Idea for the future. Go wireless. Let's see, where's my list? there goes the rest of my stuff. Yeah, I probably should make a list for things I should do still. Because I am very prone to just forgetting to do things. Can I reach a pen? No, I cannot. I have a pencil. Never mind then. So the first thing is I need to upload to YouTube. I have to do the dishes. Which I am ecstatic about. I have to set up my Discord. Which I'm gonna have to find 1 or 2 tutorials for because I am absolutely amazing at figuring out those things. So upload to YouTube. I have to do the dishes. I have to upload the I have to figure out Discord. I have to take a shower. That's perhaps a good idea as well. What else did I have to do? See if I can get Vocaloid to run, and to make sure I can actually stream Vocaloid. That might be a fun thing. I can't write apparently, and what else did I say I had to do? That's why I should write things down immediately. Upload to YouTube, do the dishes, figure out Discord, take a shower. Streaming Vocaloid. Oh yeah, channel emotes. And perhaps like doing something about the stream layout, that I have like also chat visible and like stuff like that. I have one fortunate advantage over some other streamers, and that's the fact I know how to use how to use Krita. So things like channel emotes I can luckily just draw out myself. That's convenient. I at least don't have to commission people over it. So that's a good thing. I should probably just do some like thumbnail sketching and stuff like that. So which is kind of weird that I never do those things because I like drawing, I like working with things, but I just get absorbed into like the YouTube algorithm. And then before I know it, it's like I want to watch like 1 or 2 videos, and then before I know it, oh, well, crap, 3.5 hours have passed. So I should probably, yeah, actually do things. And perhaps even see if it's possible for me to like set a timer on Windows itself. That might be a good thing to write down, because I know Windows 10 also has a, which I am on still, has a lot of like tablet functionalities. So I would not be surprised if you can set alarms on it and like use it basically as an alarm clock. I would not be surprised if you can like use Windows 10 over that, because it's Windows 10. It's they also run it on like their tablets and stuff like that. One final dungeon for the day, then I have to start calling it quits, as I just said I have quite a lot of things to do. Things I probably should have done a while ago. Oh, I completely forgot one Pokemon. Oh well, doesn't matter. I forgot to bring Typhlosion, but it's not that bad for a dungeon. I mean, it's only Magma Cavern. Like, Venusaur can take that. I have to admit though, I do have to go to floor 20. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yeah, then this is really like the last run of the day. If I'm gonna do anything with like a layout, it's gonna be remaining in like the channel, in like the colors with like the red and the purple. Yes, it's very much like a Sandshrew. I don't have one yet. It's level 20 already. That's one powerful Sandshrew. The worst part about like the things I still have to do, none of those actually take that long. Like doing the dishes, even though it's a massive pile, most likely will not take more than 20 minutes. And like taking a shower, I might be... Well, I tend to be really fast with showers. I don't necessarily like them, it's more one of those things I gotta do. So, I do need to use a face scrub. I mean, it's not in the greatest condition otherwise. Also, Spearow just died, which, what I expect. It's not really a dungeon to dig it into, especially not if you don't have like a proper Pokemon backing it up. I would like some food though, seeing as I have to go to floor 20. Oh, I already have an apple, good. That should be plenty of food. Is it just me or am I being quite talkative today? I'm normally much more quiet. Perhaps I'm getting used to this entire streaming thing. Could be I'm just getting a bit more comfortable. That's not a good thing. Alright, Sandshrew should be capable of taking out another Sandshrew. No, it's not. We're ready. Oh yeah, this dungeon actually requires me to attack. I'm not used to that. I really should make lists more often because I just forget everything else. I also have like 4 or 5 lists at work, and my job isn't that complicated. I'm a cleaner. I have to clean 1 floor in an office building. And my brain is like a sieve with it. It's like a sieve. It like doesn't contain anything. Things just don't stick in my brain, and I have. Yeah, I do know why. That's because I'm autistic. That probably makes me the only person that knows why things don't stick. That's also why I write things down or like ask like my I don't necessarily want to call her my boss, but like the one in charge, I always ask her to, if possible, put things in the WhatsApp or just write it down for me, because I am, will and shall gonna forget it. And it's not something I like. I don't like being that forgetful, but it's unfortunately something that I am. I also try to do like things like brain teaser puzzles to like see if I can fix it. But yeah, it only gets so good, unfortunately. It can only get so good until it just doesn't work anymore, because I do have a lot of those like little mini puzzles that are actually meant to do certain things, but some of those I'm really good at, and some of those I'm just not good at all. I should probably also find like my Sudokus. I am quite decent at doing Sudoku. That's something that like my aunt, when I like stayed over at my uncle and aunt's place for a week, like my aunt taught me how to do Sudokus, and that's just stuck with me ever since. So I've been able to do them ever since. It did take a little while to teach me, because even as a child, some things I'm really smart with and some things I'm just not. Also, I'm running low on moves. That's not a good sign. Yikes. I always forget how dangerous gravelers still are. Gravelers are dangerous. They're quite powerful. Also, I'm running out of moves. What else do I have? What else do I have? Oh! Iron horns it is for the beginning. Oh, that does a nice bit of damage. Like, how does that damage scaling work? It does like 72 damage? No, it's not equal to my attack, because then it should become 50. It's also not always stable damage, because that did 83. Something I've also realized for streaming, something I really have to learn, is just rambling. Which I'm just not good at. Like, today is doing fine, but otherwise I struggle. And I want that obnoxious cough to go away. It's not COVID, so I can't call sick with it, but yeah. It's getting obnoxious. It's getting better though. And that's my own fault because I actually did a bit of walking around without a coat on, seeing as over here the weather is actually great. It's getting nice and warm. Like this week, we're actually expecting temperatures of like around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, which is just ridiculously warm for the time of year. But I did some walking around without a coat on because there was no wind and like the sun was shining already in like late February, I'd say. And that really wasn't a smart idea because it was like 8 degrees Celsius outside and I had completely forgotten about that because it was so nice and comfortable and like the ice cream shops had opened up and stuff like that. I shouldn't have done that. Also, I mixed some chemicals at work that I probably shouldn't have. Like, don't mix up like stuff that goes into swimming pools. I believe it's called chloride and cleaning vinegar. Do not mix those two. It cleans, but I've got a feeling it also like stripped something from the inside of my lungs that I needed. So don't combine chemicals you don't know if you should combine, and if something says do not combine them. Because, yeah, stupidity is a thing. Which I'm very good at. I had completely... Because I didn't think that chloride and vinegar would actually respond to one another. Apparently they do. I did get some nice clean toilets out of it, so... Remembered something else I have to do. My laundry is still in the washing machine and still needs to be hung up. Yep, that still needed doing. I didn't remember to put it in the laundry machine, but I completely forgot to take it out of there. Okay, I have enough moves to like save this. Unless Razor Leaf starts missing. And sure, how about a poison sting or two? Oh, not again. Yeah, hello Relsa. Yeah, that's a lot of Arbok. And they keep paralyzing me, but yeah, I am having a good Sunday. How is yours going? No, this is Magma Cavern. I'm doing a rescue mission. I did beat Buried Relic yesterday, but I have no idea how to unlock the rest, so I'm just doing rescue requests at the moment. In case of doubt in this game, just do more missions. Oh, that was the monster house. Not another one. No, I eventually just gave in and like got Articuno out, and with Articuno things went a lot better. Until I discovered that there are actually Pokemon in the final floors that can effectively one-shot a level 55 Articuno. Bird Relic. Not another one! I'm just making a dash for the exit. Let's see if that works. That's some shit luck. Good, path is clear. Yeah, I still have to go back into Buried Valley at some point, seeing as I still need the 3 Reggies to join me, and I still don't have Mew. I still need to go back into it. And I'm not gonna be bothered with that monster house. I'm almost out of moves. I didn't expect this dungeon to give me so much trouble, so I didn't bring any max elixirs, leaving me with 9 Razor Leaves and 9 Solar Beams. And I do not want to resort to Solar Beam, because it's one of those lovely 2-turn attacks. I'll make it. And that's odd that I've run into so many monster houses. Especially considering the first time I played Magma Cavern for like the storyline, I haven't encountered any monster houses in the main storyline. Like Magma Cavern, I didn't get any. I didn't get any during Sky Tower. So I've been getting really unlucky now with the monster houses. Yeah, I know. I'll make it. It's just gonna be a bit of item dependency. Couple of throwable items. They always do something. And why does that look around? No, monster houses are actually random. They occur from Uproar Forest, I believe. No, they occur earlier. I believe they occur from when you become the fugitives. But I was just very lucky and just never encountered one until after the credits. And then now I got like 2 in a row. But yeah. Monster houses aren't scripted. You just get them by random. But yeah, my monster house luck, like my good luck with the stuff, had to run out at some point. Can't remain lucky forever. Yeah, not gonna be bothered with that one. Why did I take on a rescue mission to level 20? No, you get more monster house encounters. There's like, I believe there are like percentages set for like chances of encountering a monster house in dungeons. Yes, monster houses are the worst, especially with traps. Unless it's a pitfall trap, I'll take those because those just teleport you to the next floor in exchange for 5 HP. It's slightly more obnoxious because the most annoying monster house I've ever had was like a monster house. And then one of those traps was one of those that attracts more Pokemon. And the second trap was like was a PP0 trap. So that just means your monster house got more Pokemon in it and you are now out of PP for one of your moves. No, pitfall traps depends on it. If it's a dungeon in which you're going up, so if you only have like the F for floor, then it takes you down a floor. But if you have a dungeon which is like this one, B, which basically means you're going down, then if it's one that goes down and you get a pitfall trap, it teleports you to the next floor. So in some dungeons they're very useful. And if you're in a monster house, if it puts you back a level in exchange for 5 HP, then I'll take it. Yeah. Seal traps I don't hate too much. Because that undoes like next floor. Another trap I really hate is the sticky trap. Because that will always get an item sticky you need. I mean, it will always, for some reason. I know it's supposed to take out a random. Yeah, some traps are quite useful. But sticky traps are also obnoxious because they will and shall always make that one item you really need sticky. And that just means you can't use it for the rest of the dungeon. It's so annoying. Oh well. But also, fortunately, that's gonna be it for today's stream. Yeah, I still have a lot of other things to do. Oh no, I'm the lucky person that takes a cleanse orb and then the cleanse orb becomes sticky. And then there goes my entire strategy. That's something that always happens to me. If I prepare for sticky items with a cleanse orb, the cleanse orb is always the first item that gets sticky. I don't know why. Yo, yes. Thanks for dropping by. I'm gonna have to end it here, but I did make the decision. I am gonna look into if I can squeeze in more streams throughout the week. Instead of now the 4 days, I am thinking of also doing shorter streams on Wednesday, Tuesday, and Thursday, like in the evening, which for some people might be a better time because I realized after some people on Discord pointed it out to me, my streams for people in the United States start at like 5 or 6 in the morning. So yeah, I'm also thinking about doing some streams that are like later in the evening over in Europe because yeah, that's that's one massive continent of which I can't get any viewers because they are in bed when I stream, or going to bed, or like preparing for like the early morning shift. So, and I would like that entire continent to be included into like being able. East Asia. Oh, that's for content a rough time zone to be in. I'm like I'm in Europe, so I have what was it again? I believe Europe standard EST plus one. I have. Yeah, I have. I'm lucky. I'm in the Amsterdam time zone, so that's quite a convenient time zone to be in. But yeah, although I was planning on like streaming more anyway, so doesn't matter. So why not? I mean, I'm having fun doing it, so I can just as well do it more often. But yeah, East Asia and like Australia and New Zealand don't really have much for streamers, unfortunately. Perhaps I should do like some conversion, like see what's like good for those parts of the world as well. Like have like one stream perhaps in a weekend, which is at European standards at like a ridiculous time. But yeah, I have to look into that. I also have a lot of things to do still. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you very much for coming. I hope everybody had a fun time, and well, if things are correct, till Wednesday. Bye.